Nina.
And I'm Randa. And
Today, we're answering your juicy questions. But before we get into the video, we know we're gonna get comments. Our dresses are from Reformation.
You assume?
No, that's what everyone comments about our clothes. Reformation, sustainably made clothes. We're gonna answer your juicy questions because we just want to sit and chat because it's fun for us. If you like us sitting and chatting, we have a
ASMR channel
called ASMR Twins.
We'll leave it linked in the description. One of the reasons I love that channel is because when I'm talking or just making a video, I literally don't
Think of
plan anything. That's just like my genuine raw self. Same goes for you.
Whereas on this channel, sometimes we're like, well, we wanna maybe think about what we say. Whereas on that channel, it's just like anything goes.
Yeah, we care what you guys think, obviously, and we still care on that channel as well. But you know,
Subscribe to it. We'll leave it linked down below.
First question we have is advice to your younger selves.
The best advice that I'd give to my younger self is when you're feeling a certain way, when you love someone, or someone is making you feel bad, or whatever you're feeling, tell the person. I've been in relationships and have felt like I've been in love with people and just didn't say anything because I was so afraid of the outcome.
Right.
And I didn't want to like regret it. Oh, well, what if me saying this like changes it and I lose them?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, if that was gonna make me lose them, like
Then
I should
do
have
it sooner.
I should have just said it then and like not wasted a bunch more time. Or maybe it would have been like, oh, cool, I love you too.
I also feel like some advice would be you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. It's like when you're dating or you really like someone, you're like, oh, I don't want to behave like this because I don't want them. Yeah, that comes with this anxiety of I don't want to come across like this, so I don't want to say this.
Yeah.
When it's like if you're your genuine, authentic self from the get-go, you know, everybody knows what they're getting. You can really know if you like the person for who they really are. I feel like people put up such a mask, such a front. And that's another thing I've learned.
Well, that's
tell your like younger self, date a friend.
Date someone who feels like your friend first, you mean?
Yeah.
I think that's good advice. No, but what I was gonna say as well is I also used to have anxiety of like, oh, I can't show this person that I feel sad sometimes, or I can't show this side about myself because those were like the bad sides about me. And you can't have a real, genuine connection if you can't actually be who you are. And I know like the advice that everyone gives is be yourself. What does that even mean? And when you're having all this anxiety and like these emotions that you don't know how to deal with, you just kind of
shut down.
Yeah, shut down. And I feel like if you're feeling like that already though, it's probably not the right person.
Leave the guy in the dust because he gonna leave you in the dust. Eventually.
Yeah, exactly. Just like peace out.
Get out of there first. He's gonna be gone. Another advice I would tell my younger self is if I'm feeling anxious about something, if I'm worried about the future, like, oh no, is this guy gonna leave me? Or am I gonna get this job? Am I gonna get this promotion? You know, those anxious thoughts that something's gonna go wrong. When you're feeling like that, they can be based in some sort of reality, which is why anxiety is so painful, I feel.
Right.
But what you do when you're thinking those thoughts, it's like, well, your mind goes to the worst case scenario.
Yeah.
Accept that, okay, yeah, that worst case scenario could happen, and then you can just get over it.
Like maybe your girlfriend cheats on you, maybe your boyfriend cheats on you. Like that would be the worst case scenario in a relationship, right? So you accept, okay, he or she cheated on me. And then you're like, well, I would survive that. I would meet someone else eventually. Yeah, it would suck. And it's like, so you just imagine the worst case scenario and you accept it and you're like, okay, I can move forward now.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe that wouldn't be helpful to everybody.
No, I think because if you've already lived it, you're like, you know what? I'm gonna be fine. I will survive this.
I think that kind of also goes along with my next tip or advice to my younger self is that sadness doesn't last forever. I feel like some people are so afraid of a breakup or so afraid of
We're still talking about breakups.
I don't know. That's like I feel like a relevant
Hashtag
thing for
25
for us ladies watching. Maybe there's some men as well. But it's just that you're gonna get over the pain. I mean, this is besides a breakup. Back in December, or back, you know, a few months ago, 6 months ago, I was sad about my cat getting lost. I had food poisoning and then I got dumped, and I made a whole Instagram post about this. And basically I was in a really, really sad spot in my life, and it felt like, when is this pain gonna be over? I feel like it's gonna last forever.
Yeah.
But here I am now, happier than I was 6 months ago, or happier than I was a year ago. And it's like, it does get better. You just need to give it time.
Ride it out and keep people in your life that love you for you.
Yeah, that's true. How to deal with girl drama and how you forgive. This isn't very specific, but I will say in the past, Nina and I have had some girlfriends who are no longer girlfriends now, you know, been pretty horrible to us. And that's something you kind of realize is that You know, there can be mean boys to you, there can be mean girls, it doesn't matter.
But I think
somebody's
also something you do realize is that people make mistakes.
Yes, and that's what I was gonna say. You forgive somebody, but you don't necessarily need to make them your friend right away. If somebody really does something to really wrong you, I'd say give it time. Like, you could end up being friends years from now. You have no idea, just depending on what it was. You shouldn't be quick to just have them as your friend again. Forgive them, but maybe keep some distance, because I have forgiven people in the past for being horrible to me. And we forgave her right away. And then, like, literally 2 weeks later or something, it's like, wow, you backstabbed me again.
But also, I think if someone just like lies, like this person was like a straight up liar, manipulator, like I'm never forgive them, but they're never gonna be my friend again.
Yeah. What's something that takes courage for you to do? Well, I mean, sometimes honestly, getting on camera and making a video, especially kind of addressing the topic of this video, which is we're infertile stick figures, and basically, as of late, there have been a lot of hate videos.
And their hate videos get more views than our videos.
Yeah,
they like rip off our video.
They literally will take our whole entire video, put themselves in the corner, make a comment of like, all you're eating is sugar, haha, and like, haha.
And then they make money.
And then they just make money from a video that we spent
hours on.
You know, hours and possibly days filming. The fact of somebody saying that we're infertile stick figures, I have so many different thoughts about this. One, why are we judging girls based off of their fertility? Like, that's just creepy to me, as if, what, are you looking for a slave? Are you looking for a mail order bride? Like, can you imagine if I was like, met somebody in person, was like, what's his fertility?
I mean, I guess it's going on subconsciously, right? But ooh, he's attractive, I could have babies with him.
Ew, but to even say it to your friends of like, oh, that guy, do you think he's fertile, Nina?
That's really weird.
It's disgusting. And then somebody's making a video, like, making money? Okay, anyway. So I just have to say, I feel like there's a whole sexist thing going around, as if are women just, you know, used for your being fertile
and
or
YouTube
something?
is like, we don't have anything mean to say about the guy who said that, though. You know?
Yeah.
You could say we're infertile, like, whatever, do your thing.
Oh, it's like, I wouldn't
You're
just...
f***ing lazy, that's what I would say.
You just literally took our content.
Something that takes courage for me, and this might be totally freaking lame, is if I'm feeling a certain way, and it's somebody that I'm interested in, telling them how I feel. I was hanging out with a guy the other day, and I was feeling sad, and I was like, you know, we've like hung out a decent amount, and I'm like, should I tell him that I feel sad? I'm like, no, don't tell me you feel sad.
He can't know that side of me.
I'm human. And I was just like, no, you know, I'm gonna tell him I'm sad. I was like, to be honest, like, I just kind of feel sad right now.
And then
he was so nice about it.
And then you actually feel better once you just say what you're feeling.
Yeah, he was like,
oh, it's out of me. The emotion now.
He like gave me a hug, and like he was like, let's go get some food. And I was like, oh, I feel so much better now. I need to do this all the time.
Yeah, I feel like that's also advice to your younger self. Backtracking. Don't be ashamed of how you feel. If you're feeling sad, if you're feeling anxious, or whatever is going on in your life, you know, there's many different reasons you could be feeling like that. Then it's okay that you feel like that. Just, you know, don't just shove it under the rug. Don't just be like, I'm fine. Pretend like everything's fine.
It's gonna
all
explode.
Good. One day you're gonna explode like a tea kettle.
And you might just text them, we should break up.
What are you talking about?
Who would do that?
What do you look for in a guy? That's a good question. I feel like it's definitely... Really? We're getting past that, Nina. Obviously, I have to be attracted to you. But more importantly, ladies, it's about the inside. Seriously, you have to make me laugh. You have to be my best friend. You have to treat me like a princess.
I look for, oh, cool, you're close to my age, like, I like your look, and then, did I have fun? If I have fun, then I'm like, cool, I want to hang out with you again, and the more fun you have, I feel like your feelings kind of grow, and you're like, oh, I just want to be around this person.
The one that treats you the best, and that's what I mean by treat you like a princess. Not that I need to be like, buy me stuff. Like, no, I'll buy our own. Literally, I was just thinking today, like, oh, I kind of want to buy myself some diamond earrings.
I had a dream that we bought ourselves diamond rings before the Ariana Grande song.
Obviously, you know, you got to have the core values of your religion, politics, whatever, those types of things, because those are really big fundamental differences, so you should find that out pretty quick.
Does the person like to work out? If you don't, like,
Right, like common interests. But at the end of the day, it's like how somebody makes me feel about myself. If you're a super sexy guy, but you make me feel like nothing, you make me feel like I'm lonely or that I'm not good enough, I do not care how attractive you are.
No.
And I feel like that's something...
I think men feel the same though.
Yeah.
If a girl's like really, really attractive, but then she's just like so mean to him.
Yeah.
Like, why is he gonna want to hang out with her?
And also, this kind of goes back to the whole infertile thing. It's just like, why is somebody being so judgmental of our looks? Bottom line is, what's on the inside is ultimately what really matters. I don't know what to do with my life. I don't have any direction. What should I do? I feel like this is a very common feeling in your 20s, you know, but maybe before you're going to college or after college. It's kind of just like, what am I doing with my life? And that feeling can really make you feel
Depressed.
anxious and depressed. They kind of go hand in hand. So the first step I would say is to write a list of what you enjoy doing, and then figuring out how you can incorporate that into your life. Whether it start out as a hobby and then maybe it takes off. And
we didn't know YouTube was gonna be a job.
Right.
At all. I was just like, oh, this is a way for people to listen to what I have to say. I just want people to, you know, listen to me. Because I'm so like full of myself. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, and it ended up becoming a job. So I do think you have to...
It's also a matter of not putting so much pressure on yourself of, oh no, I need to figure out right now what I'm doing with my life. It's like, no, you don't. It's okay if you don't have everything in life figured out. I mean, to be honest, none of us do. I feel like this is a normal thought to have, but people become so anxious about it. I think also because they're looking on Instagram and it's like, oh, everybody has their perfect life. They have everything together. You know, what am I doing? Oh no, this is making my anxiety even worse, when it's just like, no, nobody knows what they're doing. It's okay.
I don't look at Instagram though and think everyone has it together.
Yeah, but some people do that.
Yeah, why? It's just a photo. Guys, stop doing that.
Yeah. Like I said, most people are muted. I'm just looking at cats. I think another thing that alleviates this feeling is taking action. Whether it be reading something you're interested in, or taking a new class, maybe taking an art class, or going out on a date and kind of doing something, taking action so that the anxiety kind of subsides. Did you ever get bullied for being vegan when you were a kid? Actually, no, not at all. Literally nobody cared that we were vegan. I will say the only people who really bully us now are people online making hate videos, and I really think part of the reason that they do that is because of the past YouTube culture where there will be vegans kind of hating on other people.
Right.
And we've talked about this, but I really feel like now it's the opposite. It's like super meat eater people hating on vegans. It's like the same strategy, but we're gonna hate on vegans, and it's just like, yo, I don't care how you want to live your life. Just please don't steal my video.
I'm not thinking about it.
Just please don't steal my video and try and monetize it. Just put yourself in the corner. Like, what? I like two guys. One is really nice. One is not as nice, but is more attractive. Which one do I choose? Okay, if there's something you learn in your 20s, and maybe you learned this in high school, it's
not us though, we didn't.
It's the possibility that you can like more than one person. Yes, it does happen. And I've come to learn that you can like different people
for different
reasons of what they have to offer. In terms of not even like what they have to offer in terms of what they bring out of you. Like different people's personalities bring out a different side of you. And that's why the 20s are great to figure out what you like, okay? I would choose the nice one.
The one that's more attractive, who makes you feel bad. Why do you want to feel bad?
Yeah,
okay, they look good. That's great. They're fun to look at, but you feel shitty. So no, I'd pick the nice one.
Yeah.
And the nice one is probably still cute.
Yeah, because if you still like them, obviously they make the cut in some sort of way.
Yeah.
If you have kids, do you plan on raising them vegan? I do plan on raising my kids vegan. In my house, it's gonna be vegan food. Obviously, the kid has to make the choice themselves.
I mean, I'm gonna feed them vegan food, but if they're like, no, mom, like I'm gonna have pizza, or I don't know, when they're older, I can't be like, no.
Yeah, it's like you can't force somebody to do something, but I'm gonna give them vegan food, and that's probably what they're gonna end up craving. It's ultimately their choice, though. Do you believe in love at first sight? Yeah? Yeah, it has happened to me.
I had it with my ex-boyfriend, yeah. I still love him.
Oh.
I don't want to be with him.
Right.
But like, yeah, it was like love at first sight for me.
Yeah. I guess that's a form of love at first sight.
Yeah,
I think
why
that's
not?
more just deep connection at first sight, and love takes time. But I do think you can have love at first sight for someone, but you can also meet someone and be like, oh, this is a pleasant surprise. I like them. And then it grows into love.
It really grows, yeah.
So it really just depends. You don't need, there's not a certain formula of you meet someone, it's like, I just love you. It's, I met you
and I want to marry you after a
love
minute.
at first sight. But it's like, no, you know, it takes time as well. It's a balance, I think.
I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, give us a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our ASMR channel. which is linked down below.
Hit the bell, all that good stuff, and we'll see you guys.
Stay tuned for a very exciting announcement.
Oh yes, we have some very, very, very big news coming out.
And we'll be in Hawaii next week, so like definitely stay tuned. Totally.
Bye guys.